live from New York. It's Gio and Paulie. What's up, everybody? Hello. My first
Hey, everybody.
Gio, what do you recommend we do here? Just take questions? I think questions is good.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm ready for my close-up now. There's my close-up. So anyway, sorry about yesterday. I was exercising my right to be a senior citizen, and those are my rights, and I intend to keep them. Let's see here. I am learning. Hey, Paul, 15 minutes of fame. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Chris. Thanks for joining in. Yo from Brazil. Willie's in the house. I don't know, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Gio?
I'm pretty good.
Good. Austin, Texas. Okay, I'll keep up with these comments as best as I can. I don't have to explain to you guys that I'm really slow.
There you go.
Thank you very much, Ed. Appreciate you. Yeah, the Partridge Family Christmas show, that is a tough act to follow. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope Donnie and Marie are still performing in Vegas right now. They're like 79, still doing the same songs.
Vegas is closed.
Poor
COVID-19.
Vegas. I heard that I think this week they're actually opening up the MGM Grand. I have some friends out in Vegas told me that. So, you know.
But I also heard there were some riots going on in Las Vegas now too. So who knows?
Jane Doe. Your first live stream reminds me of the first time I had sex. A real cluster. Reminds me of the last time I had sex. Oh my God. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, wait. John Silver Stacking's got something. June 4th. It's opening back up. Right on. Good for them.
Awesome.
Good for them. Enough already. You know, let's get back to the slot machines.
Yeah.
Let's go back to losing our pension in one hour.
Bring back the gambling, the prostitution. Let's get things going here.
Let's go have a couple of those $2,000 free drinks. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. This I get this question a lot. Can I show you the outside of some of the scenery and what does it look like around where you live? That's kind of been done. Miss V of Miss V Diary did a whole thing about coming over to visit us. And when she did an interview with me, and then what happened was my address got exposed. And then what happened was a guy rented the bungalow across from me who was a stalker. And my apartment was doing this, playing around with this Airbnb deal. And they tried that for about 3 weeks and gave up on it. But the guy that rented it, I won't go into all the details, but I kept telling Baby May, you don't leave the house without me, lock the door, and nothing happened. But
Right.
to quick rundown, my friend Ian was in town, and we went to Sikihor that the week that guy was there. And on our boat ride back from Sikihor, he was on the boat. And I'm talking about the guy that lived across the way. So that's what happened there.
Followed you to
I try
Sikihor.
not. I try to keep. I'm not worried about it, but for baby May, I get really concerned about her safety. And there's been freaky comments that have been made, and so all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. It is party time.
I don't do videos outside my apartment either, showing where I live.
Yeah.
I'll go to your house and video outside your house since they already know where you live.
Attaboy. There's our friend, the King Lee. Thanks for being a moderator, buddy.
Hey, King.
What's my favorite? Thank you for the super chat, Ed. What is my favorite buffet and what do I like? Oh man, I love Old Vegas. I moved there in '88. There was 200,000 people, 250 living there. I think there's 3 million or 2 million living there now. But Old Vegas, real quick, all my neighbors worked at a casino. And I don't think I paid for a meal up until 1990 because they would all say, hey, come over. I'll write you a ticket. That's when the pit bosses had power. And then in 1990, it got corporate and they changed over to these players cards. So it was much better. My favorite buffet, they're all pretty much the same, and you kind of get what you pay for. So you can go to the Bellagio and pay $100, but I used to go to a place called the Station Casinos, and I think it was like $5 or $6 in the beginning, and by the time I left, it was turning into $25, so we stopped going. But when my kids were little, we used to go to the buffet every Sunday after church because we could feed the whole crew for $15, you know. So.
Wow. I've never been to Vegas.
No? Well, you got all that money. Papa Smurf, right on. Thank you, brother. Who's that guy?
Doesn't look
Who's
familiar.
that guy? We got a troll. Immediately. Block. Don't even think twice. I don't know that guy. I have a fear of heights. So, no. I went to the top of the stratosphere inside. And actually, they have a thing that goes around at the top. It's a revolving restaurant. And that was fine. As long as I'm inside behind glass, I can go as high up as you can take me. But the minute I step outside, vertigo kicks in, and I'm like this. And then to make things even worse, they put friggin' rides on top of it that would like sling you out and then sling you back and then shoot you up and shoot you down. And I swear to, I'm not lying. I would look at that ride and my hands would get sweaty. So, yeah, to answer your question, I was definitely there. I met a lot of stars in Vegas. I actually met more stars in Santa Monica. Thank you, Mr. Burns. You always have nice comments, bro, for me and for me. I really appreciate you. Popper Smurf. What color are you? Are you blue? You a blue little Smurf? Hey, did you get rid of that Velez guy? Did you knock him out, Gio? We don't need him anymore.
Yeah, King, did you get rid of the one that says Rike?
Yeah.
It's not really Rike. If you guys can delete that or block him.
Yeah, please. We got to do a show with the three of us.
Yeah, I think we should do that pretty soon. Now that you got it figured out, we can do that.
I don't have it figured out at all. I just, I just thank God, Gio, I got to give, kudos to my buddy Gio over there. He's been so patient with me. And I ask him all these knucklehead questions all the time, and he never loses it. So thanks, Gio.
Yeah, no problem.
Good morning, Chicago. You play any instruments, Gio?
I play the air guitar.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks, John. John always has great comments on my channel too, so thanks, John.
R. Baker, thank you very much. That's very awesome of you.
Hey,
Hey,
Dale.
Dale, what's up, man? I'm trying to keep up with the comments, kids, so be cool.
Sherry Smith, right above, has a cool comment.
Gary Smith.
I don't know if you see it or not.
Oh, there we are. Sorry, Sherry. What do the Filipino or Filipino guys think about white men dating their Filipino girls? That's a good question. My understanding is that they're not attracted to the same type of women that we are attracted to. The Filipino guys tend to like to have a little junk in the trunk, you know what I mean? And us guys, we like the real petite, skinny, thin girls, and that's just sort of like our attraction. And I've heard that the Filipino guys are happy we took them off the market, because I've seen it firsthand because I have Filipino friends, and every time I've seen them with a female, they tend to be just larger. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, they also tend to be taller and whiter variety, more white looking, the bigger nose. A lot of us foreigners like the petite, darker morena type, So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, John. We're doing the best we know how.
We got Oozle.
Thank you, David. Another supporter all the time. Very nice comments always. Appreciate you.
David is always great. Always.
Good to me. He's good to you. He's good to me. Just always, it's so nice to get encouragement from people and feedback. And I don't mind negative feedback as long as it's constructive, if it makes sense. And I've gotten some good ideas from people saying, hey, if you do this and do that, that would work better. And anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, here's one. There's going to be a Baby May cameo here. She said not this time, but she wants to live stream with me. She's I don't know. Maybe her bunny ears aren't polished or something. I don't know. She doesn't want to come out. At first, I said, come on the stream with me. She said, oh, okay, sure. And then 10 minutes later, she changed her mind. So, what are you going to do? What's up, David? Thanks for joining in, man. Let's see here. Can we go back to the Philippines if my wife doesn't have dual yet? I'm not sure what that means. Dual citizenship? I don't know. You know Gio? Did Gio freeze? I think Gio's frozen up. It's just me. Looks like it's Mexico after all, dudes. Is that where you're going, buddy? You're going to go to Mexico? Not here? Now, there is a probability, there goes Gio, that we're going to have a brownout today, and I think we just experienced it. It looks like it's just me. So much for the Paul and Gio show. We were talking about that. Everything went wrong yesterday, and now Gio said, "You know what? Did you get notification of a brownout might happen?" I said, "No." And he said, "Well, we might." So I'll send him another invite, maybe. Let me check my phone around, see if he sent me a message. Nope. Hey, Danny, how's Vegas doing, man? I lived in Las Vegas for over 30 years. Whew. Oh, that's what it was called. John Baker. I rode the slingshot a couple of years ago. I'll be 57 in June at the North Dakota State Fair. And good morning from Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah, the slingshot. That's what it was called, on top of the stratosphere. What a nightmare. Hey, Danny, another Vegasite. Welcome in. I hope you guys open up soon. And you know what I'm curious about is what's going on with home prices back there. Because we got brutalized during the recession. And I know this whole COVID thing's a different deal. But I would really be interested in knowing if what's going on with real estate. Because it looks like Vegas and Florida, or Vegas especially, always takes a hit. Well, Miss V, it was Paul and Gio, but I think Gio had a brownout back at his campground. How are you doing, little girl? Everything all right? I've been enjoying your videos. And when are you coming back to see us? So hopefully, when the COVID deal is over, you can take the ferry up and come visit Baby May and myself and everybody else. We all miss you very much, Miss V. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll put them in a box. Thanks, brother. All right, let's see what this says. Hey, fellas, watching all the time, trying to pick up some pointers for interviewing. Glad things are going so well for you both. Hoping I get popular enough to do for a stalker someday. The Philippines for us. Well, let's plug your channel right now, bro. Philippines for us. We'll have to check you out. Pointers for interviewing. You know, when I interview somebody, I more often than not, I don't know. I like May brings girls over here to go swimming, and I'm just meeting them, and she goes, "Hey, you want to do an interview with Daddy Paul?" So I got like 30 minutes with them, and that's that. So I don't know. I just make it up as I go along. God bless the three amigos. Yeah, we are friends. You know what? I watched Rike forever before I came over here, and he was really gracious. He met me when I first got here, and gave me some pointers and some tips. And he stayed in touch the whole time. We didn't talk a lot. And then when Gio hit the scene and moved over here, he reached out to me and we met up and had coffee. And so we actually have a little private group chat that we have. And we're able to trade ideas and thoughts and warn people about who might be a troll and all this, that, and the other. Because all of us have girlfriends. And so the trolls with their negative comments and stuff, you know, I rely on the intelligence of the viewer when they read a negative comment just to consider the source. And I don't really take it that personally. But it's when they start attacking our girlfriends and making really rude and lewd comments about them, that's when we get exception. Hi guys, Steven. Love your videos and your girlfriend's videos now. Yeah, you know what? I started the little channel. I didn't start it, but May started her own little YouTube channel. And the primary motivation behind that was so that she could have an income stream, something independent of me. And her and I made a deal that when I do get monetized, which I eventually did, that I would just give that money to her. So that's what we've been doing. The AdSense money that comes in goes into her bank account. Because I get a check. I get a Social Security check. I'm getting caught up here, kids. Dave Rich, thanks for the chat, buddy. I'm a big fan of yours from Boston. I make it a point to listen to the ads. Thank you. As well as leave a comment for you and on May's channel. Well, we appreciate that. One thing about the ads, guys, is that if they annoy you, skip them, okay? If you watch them, it monetizes us. And either way is fine with me. I didn't start the channel necessarily as a money-making vehicle. I started the channel as a video diary of my life, and now baby May's involved in it. And I'm actually more interested in her channel becoming successful. Mine can stay right where it is because I'm happy doing what I'm doing. But I would like for her to have an independent source of income for her, not only now, but in the future. And I think as she progresses and gets better at what she does, as far as the editing and the camera angles and all this and that, I think it's interesting to watch her from start to finish just because of the evolution. And people have commented, they've said, wow, she's gotten a lot better. And so it's neat for me and I think other people to see the evolution going on. And as she gains skills and gets better, you're actually in real time watching a person grow. And to me, I'm a people person. I like to watch people and observe. And so I have a lot of fun with that. Thank you, Willie Thompson. Thank you very much. I'm getting behind, kids, because Gio abandoned me with his little brownout. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Danny. Gio, I will. Okay, yeah, I'll split that with Gio, of course. Appreciate you guys, and all you do is do me getting a good base to live in terms of meeting women in the surrounding areas. I would have to say yes. I'm not a traveler like Gio is. I like Dumagetti. I've always lived in Dumagetti, and I've just gone to like Sikihor. I did one when I was single. I did one little bachelor weekend by myself to Angeles City to go see the bars and Walking Street and all that. But yeah, I think that Dumagetti is a good home base because it's got an airport, it's got ferries, it's got buses. It's pretty much free from a lot of the natural disasters like typhoons and stuff. Um, but to meet girls in Dumagetti, from Dumagetti, I don't recommend it. They're just too inoculated, I guess would be the word, to foreigners. And um, maybe I'll do a video about that one day. I don't give advice, but I do make observations. Thank you, Kevin. I'm afraid we're down to one talking head now. I could try to invite Gio again. Oh, wait, here, I just got a message from Gio. My power went out. I hope he means his electricity. But he was mentioning before the stream that that there might be a brownout today. And I said, wouldn't that be perfect? I've tried to do this 3 times now, and something's gone wrong, always because I managed to screw it up. And then if we had a brownout, then I would just go dark. So, future a warning right here and now: if the screen goes blank, it's because I lost electricity. Where did you get the YouTube shirt, Gio? Well, Gio's not here, so I don't know where he got that bad boy. Dual citizenship. She was born there. You know what? That is a better question for Enrique or Gio. I got a guy, I know of a guy that does nothing but visas, marriages, SSRVs, or whatever they're called. I'm on a tourist visa, so that's all I've ever concerned myself with. I've never entertained the idea of any other kind of visa or immigration status. But anyway, this guy's had an office right across from immigration office, and he does that for people for a fee. And I thought, what a perfect guy to interview. He could talk about this visa, this status, if you get married, blah, 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 blah. I prefer to interview the experts, and especially when I don't know anything about anything anyway. So he's shut down now because of the deal. So the fat guy says, sorry, Paul, I think Baby May is better looking than Gio. Just my opinion. You know what, buddy? I'm on that with you. I'm on that with you. Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm sorry about Gio. He had a technical problem this time, not me. Yeah, this is a good comment. Baby May will be live streaming shortly. She's been grinding me to go live. And I keep telling her, honey, I can't. I'm not set up. I'm not getting it straight. She's going, no, you just push the live button. And I'm like, it's not that simple. But she wants to come on this with me. And so maybe later on tonight or something, me and her will do a live stream together, or tomorrow, or who knows? I don't know. Where's the chicken? Never far. The chicken is always near. Did I ever tell you guys the story about the chicken? Let me know if you guys want to hear this chicken story. Thomas, thanks for the super chat, bro. You can video outside my house anytime. For the past 2 months, it has been a comfort sweet. Southeast Asia to open. Sounds like my friend Gary, who I visited in Vietnam. He's living in an extended stay hotel. He sold his home in Ohio. He's trying to go back to Vietnam, and so he's staying at the same similar kind of deal. For the past, what took you to the Comfort Suites? Did you sell your house? I don't know. But God bless you, man. This will all be over soon. I was totally wrong in my prediction about the COVID thing. When it first hit, I thought it would last for 30 days. So I was off on that. Hey, Goldfinger, my buddy, what's up? How often and how long are brownouts? Okay, well, there's 2 kinds of brownouts. There's scheduled brownouts, where the power company will send out a notice to you if you're signed up with their website. And it might say, hey, listen, boys and girls, we got to do some tree trimming. So we're going to be closed down from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. While brownouts are never fun, those are the best kind, to be honest with you. Because you know, you know that you're going to be without power for 8 hours, and you know in advance. So what baby and I always do is we get up early, we shower early while we still got some hot water and we still got some sunlight and daylight, so May can, do whatever it is she does, and then we bug out and we just go up the mountains where it's cool and for a couple hours, and then we might take another trip to another little area that doesn't have a brownout, and we'll have lunch, and we basically just chase air conditioning. So we'll go to Robinson's or something and just mill about over there. Any reason to go inside, sit down, order a drink. And one time I went to a resort with my friend Mark, and I forgot the other guy's name now. Having another Joe Biden moment here, kids. But I don't know where May was. I think she was at her mom's house or something. But during that brownout, one of the guys rented a car, and we went to a resort, hung out. Okay, so Dale, hey, coming to Valencia this afternoon, is the taco stand open yet? Yeah, I think it's takeout only, but yeah. Where in Mexico? Yeah, I'm curious about that too, Barry. Barry's a good guy. Barry's always active on comments and nice comments and all that good stuff. Let's see here. Do I have a generator for emergencies? No. Unless I can get to some other place in Southeast Asia. Okay. Open. Yeah, buddy, you've been trying to get over here, huh? So again, I'm sorry if I'm getting behind, kids, but I'm doing the best that I know how. Thank you for the super chat, Ed. Did you see Binion's $10 million bill collection? Yes. Now each $10,000 bill is worth $150,000. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, Binion's. There was a what was it? They had some sort of thing set up with $1 million in cash or something like that. I didn't know it was 10 billion. We used to go there for steak dinner back in the day. $1.99. You could get steak, baked potato, a beer, vegetables, but you had to go at midnight. People lined up for that, the locals. Well, that about sums it up, Sean. You guys are stuck with me. I'm so sorry. Okay, I think we got an answer. For Robert, yes, she can stay as long as she has a green card, and she shouldn't be staying here in the Philippines over 6 months. So there you go. Thank you very much, Philippines Home Jordan, because I didn't know the answer. And our answer to Mexico is Guadalajara. Good on you. I was thinking about Mexico as as an alternative. I'm a big believer in having a plan B, C, D, etc. So if tomorrow something happened and I had to bail out of the Philippines, where would I go? So I've explored Indonesia, I've explored Vietnam, I've explored Thailand, and all three of them would do in a pinch. But Mexico seems to be coming back on everybody's radar. I've heard it both ways. I've heard that it's great, and then I've also heard that it's just a scam by real estate developers to try to get people over there. So I guess boots on the ground would be the best way. If somebody would start blogging from Mexico, I think that would be the best way to get information. See it, touch it, smell it, feel it, all that good stuff. All right, so let's see what else is going on here. Vegas is opening, prices rising due to infrastructure like the Raiders. Oh yeah, the new stadium going in. Man, it's got to be psycho over on the Spaghetti Bowl. Spaghetti Bowl is this crazy loop freeway thing that they've been under construction since day one. It never changes. Talk about traffic. Let's see. Buddy is predicting huge foreclosure investments in Vegas coming. That I don't know about the foreclosures because they've got forbearance up now. Forbearance just simply means that you can stall your payment, you still owe it, but it may all come due in a balloon payment later on. So that's kind of a wait and see. I would have to figure there'd be an uptick because if people take advantage of the forbearance laws, you know, or the ability to stall making their payment under the whatever relief bill we got. I still haven't got my stimulus check right away. What's up with that? So anyway, we'll see what happens, buddy. Hey, Paul, have you found a location to move to yet? Yes, I have. And I can give you a tour of that once we get up there. We might go up today, later on, and snoop around a little bit. I did put a deposit down. And July 1 is to be my move-in date. And the good news is that it's got 2 water systems. So it's got Valencia water, like I've got now. And then they've also tapped into another water source. I forgot the name of it. But apparently, the water that comes out of the kitchen sink from the secondary source is drinkable. I don't know if I want to try that or not, but I'll probably make my coffee with it through the coffee maker. And we'll see about that. And the owner of the apartment complex has a backup generator. So he told me that during brownouts, he could fire that puppy up and it would not run a computer or a TV, but it would keep the fan on and the lights on. And that's all we really care about because when it's stifling hot outside, you don't have a fan going. It's just, for me at least, it wears me out, just kills me. So anyway, I'm getting through these comments, buddies. I'm behind probably. Let's see. Coleman, I worked on the Stratosphere finishing drywall and then about lost my hand finishing drywall on Sunset Station. Yeah. The Stratosphere was a weird building to watch go up. Hi, George, from Toledo, Ohio. Where does Gary live? Gary lives in Ohio. Like now, I can't remember the name of the town. My friend Gary, who I was in Vietnam with. That's right. Chicken's getting famous. Thanks again, Ed. You've been very generous. We appreciate that. It's not exactly the North Pole. I hear you, brother. But it's a dry heat. Did you meet Steve Montelli when he still lived in Dumaguete? He's one of my favorite bloggers, too. I did meet Steve. I met Steve. I'd had coffee with Steve a couple times. And I really enjoyed his shows also before I moved out and once I got here. I have funny stories about Steve, but they're kind of between me and Steve. And I've been watching him lately, but he seems kind of negative, if you will. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, we all got our moments, right? Mr. Burns, thank you again. I live 7 hours north of Vegas in Elko. Moving to the Philippines within a year. Blame me. Yeah. Oh my God. That's my biggest fear is, you know, when I do my videos, I try to give the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I try not to be plain, and I try not to give advice. I'm not always 100% effective on my delivery, but I do make it a point to try to let people know that it's not, you know, all sunsets and beaches and girls in bikinis. I think that if you just look at May's videos where she's walking around, or if you watch Bud Brown, he drives around. Just take a look at the scenery, man. I mean, it shows a lot of rundown buildings and stuff. You only see me here on the goofy couch with my goofy chicken. But when I do move into the new apartment, one thing that struck me is I'll have like 3 or 4 different angles that I can work with as far as having background. So that'll be, you know, I know less tedious than seeing this goofy picture behind me and the chicken. Mr. Burns, next year we're going to have another 20,000 into this city. Probably. My pal Frank, when are you going to come back and do another interview with me, dude? Everybody loves your videos. That's Frank. Frank's done some videos with me. Always funny. Love you, Frank. I've been meaning to talk to you, but I know you're in quarantine mode still. Good old Frank. How's life, Frank? Everything okay? We haven't talked in like forever. Does Dumageddon have high-rise condos with all the amenities and goodies like Cebu? I only know of one condo complex that's going up on the boulevard, and I haven't been inside of them. So I don't think they're as dialed in as they are in Cebu. Not high-rise with pools on top and stuff like that. But don't take my word for it, because I'm basically just talking out my ass. I've only seen them being built, and I know they're completed and they're starting to sell them. They're across from Lantown and Cafe Racer on the boulevard. And then there's another project they've kind of abandoned. So I don't think it's like Cebu at all. Huh. I just got validated. Thank you for that. Hey, Chester. Now, the real heroes are the chickens. Duma is laid back. Duma is a good old fart town. You know, I think Geo's getting a little restless because there's not a lot of action or activity and all that kind of stuff. So that's a true statement. Laid back is a really good term. There's just a lot of retirees here, and yeah, you know, it's just there's no real nightlife. There's one disco, and if you can call it that, and we go there maybe once a month if other people are going, and then Baby May likes to get out there with the other girls and jump around. And then you get to watch a bunch of 80-year-old guys trying to dance like they are 20-year-olds, and it's really embarrassing. So, but for me, it's a good fit. You know, it's close enough to the town. It's close enough to a hospital if I need one. It's close enough to the mountains if I need a getaway. And it just, I don't know, it just feels like home. I've left here twice now. I've gone to Indonesia and I've gone to Vietnam. And both places had better food, had better infrastructure, had the same price. But after 2 or 3 weeks, I was missing Dumageddon. You know, it was really the people here that keep, in my mind, keep things as home. Let's see. Ed from Queens again. Your videos are sensational. You are funny and speak honestly from your heart. You are also a great interviewer. Well, thank you, Ed. I don't know where that came from, my interviewing thing. I just sort of do it. Oh, here, we'll answer this one. Hey, Paul, saw you in Geo for a few minutes yesterday. Then it all went blank. That was due to technical difficulties. And the difficulty was I'm not technical. I managed to screw that whole thing up. So there you go. Sorry about that, guys. I know we were supposed to be on. I didn't push a couple of buttons that I was supposed to push, and everything just went to hell. Thank you, Chester. I appreciate you. A sailing plan. I've been hearing. I met a guy that has a sailboat and did a bunch of sailing, and now he's looking to sell it. They say the best day of your life is when you buy a boat, and then the next best day of your life is when you sell your boat. I toyed with the idea of getting a boat when I lived in Vegas because of Lake Mead. And so, thank goodness, I went on a trial run with a friend of mine. And we went out for the day on his boat and had a blast, racing around and water skiing and not jet skiing, but, getting pulled on an inner tube, and some fishing, and swimming, and just exhausted when I got back from the boating adventure. And then I found out that you had to spend all this time to get it back up on the thing, and wash it down, and clean it out, and pack it up, and then drive it over, and then park it in the space. And I said, this is just too much work. For me, I wouldn't ever use a boat enough to get the money's worth out of it. I don't even know what some of these comments mean. Orlando here. Yay, Orlando. Aaron, hi, Paul, from China. We travel between Philippines and China and U.S. Very nice. I always wanted to go to China. I always wanted to see the Great Wall, that kind of stuff. I'm into that kind of stuff. I like history. I like reading about it. I like seeing it. But I always want to come home. Hi, George. I'm doing good, man. The bars are closed, yeah. Steve writes, is Duma a good place to take a family holiday, or is it all about retirees? By the way, love the show to the candid. I guess I don't know what that means. I guess I'm candid. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, if I was planning a family holiday, would I bring my kids, my wife, and my kids here? It would depend on what you're into. If it was to go to a resort and go snorkeling and diving and swimming, yeah, I think that there's probably if you're in the States, there's other places that are closer but more expensive. So as far as a budget, if you can endure the plane ride, yeah, I would come out here for a holiday. You're not going to get great food. You're not going to go to fancy restaurants because they don't really have them. And no, it's not all about retirees. A lot of people come over here during like a high season, which is when it's cooler, like around December, January. And a lot of Europeans, a lot of Koreans, Chinese. There are places close to Duma, like Sikihor, that I adore. And you can go there. They have the white sand beaches. You can get a resort right on the beach for 20, 30 bucks a night and have a really good time. There's a guy named Ned Kelly who has a show called My Philippine Dreams, and he does a real good job of reviewing resorts. around the areas here. So you might want to check him out. I've never met Ned, but on his videos, I think he gives some good information. Mike's Resort in Dowen has great food. Well, there you go. I've never been there. The Mike's Resort. Why are you moving? Is the bird that's behind you going also? That's a very good question, Phil. I'm moving because I want a different point of view. I've gotten into a rut. And I talk a lot in my videos about why I moved to the Philippines, and it was because I was experiencing Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day meaning that every day was starting to turn into the same day over and over and over and over again. That's on a very small scale started to duplicate itself here in this apartment. I've been here for 2 years. I've looked at the same coconut tree. I've heard the same traffic go by, which doesn't bother me. I take the same road to the same places, and I just want a new point of view. I just want a different scenery. I want to go up the mountain a little bit. I want to get a little more isolated, but I'm not so isolated. It's only like 15 minutes further, 20, I guess, maybe, than where I am now. So it won't impede me from getting into town or from doing what we do normally. It's just a different point of view. That's all I can. The only reason I can say it, really. Cebu City is 1.2 million people. Yeah, that's too much for me. Hi, Jason. Well, I love it when we get people from all over the country. It's cool. Let's see here. Do I know of any other places other than Baguio City or Valencia where the weather is cooler? I've never been to Baguio. I know a number of people that have been there. Actually, Baguio was my original destination when I started researching all of this online. I read nothing but good things from Baguio. In fact, I was chatting up a girl that lived in Baguio before I came over here. And I changed my mind. I came to Dumaguete, and I'm glad I did because Baguio is really cool, but it's also kind of landlocked, and it's I think it's got one road that goes in and out. I didn't like that idea. My friend Gary went up there, and he said he couldn't stand it because everything was uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill. It's a big difference when you're 20 years old than 60 years old. So if you've got walking issues or health issues, or if you're using, a cane or anything like that, it can be a real challenge. And I just didn't want to deal with it. Thank you very much, Larry. I appreciate that, man. I'll take May out to buy some new bunny hairs. First time actually watching this live stream, pretty personable host, but is very selective about what messages he reads out. I'm doing the best I can, buddy. I'm trying to keep up with this. I lost Geo. Greetings from Calgary. Yeah, man. I've gone to Calgary. I mean, not Calgary, but yeah, I've been to Canada 3 or 4 times to go fishing with my father. My dad's 95 years old, and last year when he was 94, he went to Canada and went fishing. And Mark Petty was our guide. In fact, I posted his picture a number of times up on Facebook, and we caught northern pike, which is a lot of fun. And we also caught walleye, which we did shore lunches and all that good stuff. And my dad and I are both avid fishermen. We love it. And no better fishing, I think, than in Canada. And Just beautiful country, beautiful place. People are friendly, people are nice, and great comedians come out of Canada, by the way. I like to watch a lot of comedians in Canada stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Paul, have you ever been to Leyte? Also, when I retire, I should have about 60K and about 1350 a month Social Security. Do you think that would be enough to retire in the Philippines? I've done a number of budget videos, and I've always tried to get right to the point on those. So if you've got $60,000 in the bank, that's an awesome cushion. I assume that you're speaking to USD, Larry. And I get by on 1,500 a month, so 1,350 is definitely doable. In fact, I'm getting on less because I had $144 reduced because I opted for the plan or Part B on my Medicare. So my check actually got reduced. I got a cost of living increase of $30, and then I got a 144 deduction because of the Part B. So I netted 114 less a month. But during the quarantine, one little lesson that I learned was that I pissed off a lot of money leaving the house. And so, yeah, man, again, I don't know what your lifestyle is or what you expect or what your needs are. I don't give advice. But for me, that would work. As long as I stay at home more. All right, so I'm going, I'm getting behind here. Hi, Mark. Tagatay is cooler. Okay. There you go, guys. Yeah, I haven't been to any of these places. Like I said, Gio and Enrique, they travel all over the place. They're younger than me, better looking than me, smarter than me. So you should listen to them, not me. Let me see what else is going on. Did I get rid of Gio on purpose? It crossed my mind. Poor Gio had a brownout. Had to bail out. Okay, what's next here? I'll be retiring. This is from Bark Eater. That's an interesting name. I wonder how your parents came up with that. Bark. Anyway, I will be retiring in September from the U.S. Air Force and have been chatting with 3 girls from Cebu. How is that area? I have been to Cebu for 24 hours. When I first landed here, I did a video about that, my first 24 hours in Cebu. And Gio lived there for a couple of years and taught. So I've been back just to do immigration stuff that I've had to do there. I find Cebu to be really, really crowded. Traffic is just brutal. It's just like bumper to bumper, 24 hours a day. I guess if you live near a nice place that called IT Park, which I've heard Gio speak of and other guys, that you can get like a high-rise condo and have a nice lifestyle and go downstairs and have good food and stuff like that. But I think you're going to miss out on some of the more, I don't know, rural flavor, if you will. It's more big city living, in my opinion. But again, I'm not an expert. I've just been there. I haven't spent any long time there or a long amount of time there. Okay, are the beaches as such where there's a constant breeze? You know, that's a good question, man. No, the answer. That's the one thing that I just couldn't wrap my head around, and I still have a hard time with it. I figured I'm on an island. I figured I'm on an island surrounded by water. This is me thinking before I moved out here. And so there's going to be a breeze, you know, like the palm trees are going to be swaying, and the ukuleles are going to be playing. And I had all these crazy thoughts before I got here. And there's hardly ever a breeze, man. Beach, no beach. So I don't know what it is. Hey, Dino. All right, guys, I'm kind of scrolling through here. Thank you, Dino. Paul, you resemble Corbett Sanders. The Philippines has a yearly contest. I don't know who that is. I thought you said Colonel Sanders. Nice to hear someone praising Canada. Us Canadians will love you. Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with Canada at all. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I love Canada. I love the topography. You know, all the trees and the nature. The people have always been friendly. And again, like I said, just some of the greatest comedians come out of it. Martin Short and Norm Macdonald, my hero, comes out of Canada. Paul Schaefer comes out of, he's a musician, but he comes out of Canada. I forget who else. Hi, Phil B. Thank you. I wish you the best also, brother. And thanks for watching. Oh, there's a good question. Have I done any fishing in the Philippines? None. None. Zero. I don't know what the deal is. I see local fishermen, they go out with nets and stuff. Um, I imagine there's some kind of fishing excursions, but I haven't really tuned into that. I haven't heard of any. It's not like a big topic of conversation. So there may or may not be, possibly in other areas, just not here. We've got dolphin watching. Paul, did you? Oh, this is from Brian Hatcher. Paul, did you once say your dad at 95 is a bowler or a golfer? Well, my dad was a golfer. My dad introduced me to golf. I've been golfing since I was 9 years old. My dad and I are best friends, and he no longer plays golf, but he still owns and operates a real estate brokerage. He still works. He still goes to Canada and goes fishing. I asked him one time, I said, how come all your friends are like 50 years old? And he said, because I can't stand them old assholes. All they talk about is dying. He says, I'm all about living. I said, you know what? I agree. That's why all my friends are normally younger. I liked his philosophy. Okay, I'm trying to catch up here, kids. All right, so let's see. Phil, hi, Paul. Is Valencia far away from everything like shopping and restaurants? In other words, would a car or motorcycle be necessary to do anything? Yes. Yeah, if you don't have transportation here, Valencia is not for you. In fact, folks that didn't have transportation to come over and visit me had to leave before dark because the trikes and stuff stopped running out here. So yeah, Valencia is not far. I mean, Valencia is not far from Dumaguete, but the public transportation here is subpar. I'm being kind when I say that. Okay, Joseph. Good morning, Paul from, I can't pronounce that city. Here in, oh, it's in Metro Manila. Enjoy your videos. Great job on the live stream. Well, thanks, man. It's my first time here. And as usual, I'm just talking on my ass. Okay. Hey, Paul, love your channel. I know you talked about Thailand in the past. I'm thinking about moving over there. What are your thoughts? Um, I I really love Thailand. I love the food. I love the infrastructure. The people are really chill. Um, there's a lot more architecture, if you will. There's a lot more variety there. Um, the women are beautiful over there. The people are gentle, just like they are here. It's from what I understand, it's become very, very complicated to go as an expat to Thailand. Now, don't take this as gospel because I don't know it for sure. But what I have heard is that you have to have proof that you've got medical insurance. You have to have X amount of dollars in the bank. I forget the amount. I think it's like $10,000 or $20,000. You have to leave it there for a year, some such thing. Again, this is all just things I've heard. Um, the what I discovered about Thailand, Philippines difference goes right back to the people. I just feel a more of a kinship with the people here in the Philippines than I felt in Thailand. Now I got involved with a church in Thailand and made great friends there. So they're the exception to that rule. But just your average Thai person compared to your average Filipino person, I always felt like the Thai people were looking at me more like a dollar bill, and that the Filipinos were or more looking at me as a person. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but just call it a better vibe here as far as the people go. But as far as a retirement destination, if you meet the requirements, rock on. You can always leave, you know. There's my buddy King. Hey, Paul, enjoying this stream. And if you can visit here in Korea one day, I will take you to the Korean War Museum and other places like Busan, which is like Santa Monica. That's my friend King. If you haven't seen his blog, make sure you visit his channel, The King We Way. And he was kind enough to give me a microphone. Look, that's from King. It's the only one that still works, buddy. I bought a couple online, dual ones, and they lasted about a week, and then they blew up, and that was that. So you're a rock star, buddy. And I would love to go over there and see you. Let me see where I'm at here. Wow, I think I'm getting behind. Scott's RC World. Hello from Chicago. Hello. How are things over there? Aloha. Always nice comments. Thank you very much. There's Mike Young. I'm looking for a hot young woman in the Philippines who will work and contribute to living together. I don't blame you. Also enjoy the Filipino P. Yeah, the P was fun. I enjoyed meeting her. Talked to her for about 30 minutes, and then we did the interview. I will go, yes, Bill B. Do I ever think about coming back to the States? Yeah, I kind of thinking about that next year. I've been here 3 years, and there's some people I need to go see and visit, and also buy some stuff. Buy some stuff like electronics that I know are a third the price here, and bring it back with me. So yeah, I want to go. Of course, I want to go visit some friends and family, and I also want to just go buy some stuff that I can't get here, or I can get here, but I just know it's kind of a rip. I was talking to my friend Mark the other day. He said, if I was to walk into Walmart right now, I would spend $1,000. Being able to find shoes that fit, shirts that fit, and a blender that works, and a computer that works. Yeah. Oh, here's a good question. Paul, can you use Medicare in the fills? I heard emergency care only. To my knowledge, you can't use it at all. No, emergency, no emergency. And my whole thing is, why do I have Medicare Part B? I mean, the Medicare is free. Why do I have the Part B? Because if I got diagnosed tomorrow with some sort of disease that needed long-term treatment, or if I needed long-term care, well, you know what? I would just pack it in and go back to the States and check into a hospital there and, pay the difference, I guess. But I think the B covers 20%, Medicare covers 80%, and I know I'm getting hosed somewhere. So, the prescriptions and all that kind of stuff. But you make it work. Okay, Bradley wants to know, does the possibility of typhoon hit concern you? Not only damage to your house, but prolonged loss of electric, water, food availability, etc. That's a very good question. That was part of the reason I chose Dumageddon, is that this has a track record of not getting direct hits. We get the aftermath, but it's, I think, north of us that most of that stuff happens. So yeah, it's a concern, but one thing I've learned living over here is it's always good, typhoon or not typhoon, to have 3 or 4 days stock of stuff in the house, because if nothing else, sometimes it just rains for 3 or 4 days, or just or there's a COVID and you're in lockdown. All right, so I'm getting behind. That guy, thank you for your chat, man. Your channel is constantly inspiring. Thanks for doing it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's very nice to hear. Let's see. Bradley Green, thank you, sir. Here's some more bunny ears for Baby May. Let's see. I'm way behind, so I'm just trying to get through here. A lot of fishing questions. John Devin, hi Paul, saw May's cooking show. Question, you eat dried fish and you let May cook it inside the house. I can't even look at the dried fish, much less eat it, and she's never cooked it in the house. I've asked her, please. I try not to make demands or orders, and that's one thing about the dynamic between her and I is, I don't know how to put it. We just try to be respectful. And so I told her, please don't do that. She said, okay, because she knows. And she tells me don't do that. And sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. She's a better girlfriend than I am boyfriend. Okay. Let's see. Carlo, what part of California are you from? I'm familiar with most of it and the variances in weather there. LA has a dry heat, but the summer nights are nice and cool. I would agree with that. I am from the San Fernando Valley. I lived, if you want to break it down easy, I lived for 30 years in California and 30 years in Nevada. First 30 in San Fernando Valley, Santa Monica, that. And then when I was 30, in 88, I moved to Nevada and ended it in Nevada. Came here. Are there any golf courses in Dumageddon? Yeah, but they're expensive, man. And I don't have any golf clubs. And I'm hearing stuff like I drove by one golf course. I don't forget the name of it, and it didn't look that inspiring to me. And again, it's what's funny is I could play golf in Vegas in 105-degree heat as long as I had a cart and a cooler full of water, and we could do it. And out here, I don't think I could make the same statement because it's just so humid here. And the heat here affects me a lot different. Affects May that way too. So her and I went out yesterday because we had to go get some stuff and it was really hot. And we were gone about 2 hours and we both came back and fell asleep for like 3 hours. Her and me. It just took it out of us. I'm old. She's got no excuse. You got it, Tad. That's a deal. The twins have been getting taken care of by some folks. That was one of our errands yesterday. We've been sending some love and affection towards them. So I appreciate that. That's what will happen, brother. Your dad has the right attitude. I am a big believer that attitude is 99% of everything. Um, I've thought about that deeply. You can imagine me having a deep thought. Um, and I'd love to do a video about that. In fact, I'm going to do a video about attitude, my attitude. Not yours. I don't give advice. But I think that, in fact, I just know for myself that my attitude dictates whether I'm happy or not. And it doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter if I'm in the fanciest restaurant, if you can imagine, eating the finest foods. I could be unhappy in that situation. Or I could be sitting on a concrete block eating a Pop Tart with a very interesting human being sitting next to me and have a great time. So, yeah, I'm a believer right there, fellow traveler, in attitude. Mark Higgins says you should bring your dad to Duma. He wouldn't make it here, bro. The plane ride would be too tough on him, number one. And number two, it's too difficult for him to navigate walking here. We could do a car. It would be too hot. I just know that I would love to bring my dad out here. Love nothing more than to have people meet my dad, take him and introduce him to all my friends, put him on the YouTube channel. If I do go back to the States next year, I'm going to vlog from there with my dad. I already have that in my mind. I would love nothing more than to have my dad live out here with me. But again, he's got an issue with his foot and stuff like that. It just wouldn't work, brother. That's a great idea. I would love that. Okay. Yeah, Aaron said that it's expensive to golf. Let's see. Richard, I'm retiring in 10 months and thinking of moving over there. Your videos are a big help. Will be a big help. Thanks. Well, you're welcome. Please don't blame me if you get here and you don't like it. Let's see here. That guy, Paul, I don't know how to ride a motorcycle. Do you have any fear riding a scooter in traffic? I have perpetual fear riding in traffic. Non-stop fear, which is why I think I'm still alive today, because I never let my guard down. I drive slow. I hadn't ridden a bike in 20 years when I got here, and I put it off for a couple, 3 weeks, and finally I just broke down and rented one. And the ride home was super scary. Excuse me. But I got used to it over time, and I get better and better at it. I have found that the biggest danger for me driving a scooter is when it's wide open. I'm still going slow, but my mind starts to drift. I start thinking about where I'm going or what I did last night. You know, I used to do that when I drove home from work. I never remembered the drive home because it was on autopilot. I would think about anything and everything but the road in front of me because I was always a very good driver. Hopefully I still am when I lived in the States. So driving a car, I never had any issues. Driving the scooter, I'm always got to be on full attention mode. Your antenna have to be up at all times because you never know when a friggin' dog's going to run out, or a kid, God forbid, or a trike comes out of nowhere. There's all these little dirt roads that lead into other little communities, if you will, off the main road. And if you're just blowing past them, if you're not looking for them, you won't see them. But out of nowhere, it's happened to me probably 20 times. Someone just comes barreling out of a road that I didn't even know was there. And the next thing you know, it's a guy on a scooter who's had one too many red horse. And that's why I drive slow. That's why I always pay attention. So, do I have fear in traffic? You damn right I do. I have fear everywhere. But it's not a negative fear. It's I guess it's more of being alert. It might be a better way to explain it. Okay, I'm doing my best here, kids. Paul Reeves. Paul, this is Paul. I have been retired here, and I don't know how to pronounce that, for 8 months, and I love it. Just wish the quarantine was over. Yeah, I love it too. The quarantine is getting old. I have refrained from complaining because I feel like I am super privileged during this quarantine. My confession about that is I get a check whether I want one or not. I'm on Social Security. So I have not had to file for unemployment. I haven't lost a job. I'm not stressing out about my mortgage as I know so many people are. And my heart goes, some of them I know personally, and my heart just goes out to you guys 1,000%. It really does. I can only imagine having 3 kids at home, them bouncing off the walls. You can't go outside for an ice cream cone. I mean, God bless all of you. This needs to end. Okay, I don't want to get into it all here, but I'm thinking about, by the way, starting a different channel in addition to the old dog channel, and it will be something where I don't really care. I'm not interested in being monetized. In fact, if they offered it, I'd deny it. It would be something that I do maybe like once a month because I have videos that I haven't released. I have private videos stored there on my YouTube channel. So I've watched them and I said, nah, I want to keep this, family friendly, as this is really how I am. But I have my moments, and I have like these. I just have these crazy moments, and I'll think of something that's really super funny, but it has profanity or the situation or the the experience itself is maybe R-rated. I don't want to throw that up there because I know husbands and wives watch this show and all that kind of stuff. So I want to be respectful of that. But I am thinking about starting a separate little channel and just doing that once a month. So anyway, let me know what you think. Let's see. I have not played any golf. Let's see. What's this say? David, Paul, is there a stigma against foreigners who date married women in the Philippines? These women have either left their husbands or their husbands have left them. No money for divorce. I don't know about a stigma. My little bit of information on that topic would be it's against the law to be with a married person, either sex. So, no stigma. I mean, I think a lot of guys don't even know the girl they're dating is married until they let that cat out of the bag 2 months down the road. Ed from Queens. Paul, you've had over 400 people watching, plus the most super chats I've ever seen. I do not think you know how beloved you are. Hey, thank you, Ed. Thank you very much. I have no idea how many people are watching. I don't know what to look for. Oh, there it is. It's an eyeball. It says 414. I guess it's a lot. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up here, kids. My wingman had a brownout. Bertha, did you ever work for Cal Worthington or Longo Toyota? I applied for a job at Longo Toyota. I can tell you a story about Longo Toyota. Longo Toyota is the largest car dealer in the world. At least it was back in the day. There was a Chinese girl that worked at a place. Her name is Anna Chan. And Anna Chan worked at a little tiny Toyota dealership. And I'm trying to think of where it was located. Anyway, Anna Chan went to work at this Toyota dealership and knew nothing about cars. And one day she asked her manager, she said, my customer wants to buy this Supra, but he doesn't want the stick shift transmission. Can we replace that with an automatic transmission? Because Anna didn't know if you could or you couldn't. And they literally laughed her out of the dealership because of her stupid question, right? Little Anna Chan wanted to know if they could just take the automatic transmission, which of course is impossible, and put it into this 5-speed or vice versa. Long story short, Anna Chan went to work for Longo Toyota and became the #1 car dealer's #1 salesperson. Talk about attitude. She set up a deal. She had her own trailer. She had this whole thing set up. And guess what she did? She marketed to all the Chinese people. And so who do you want to deal with? Some guy like me that doesn't speak Chinese or Vietnamese or whatever it was? Or do you want to speak to somebody that speaks your language, understands your customs, and knows how to deal with you, you know? So that's why no, I never worked at Longo or Cal Worthington. Oh, Cal. Good old Cal. His commercial. He used to ride around on. Let's see. Longo. Oh, here we go. What's this say? Longo got bought out by Penske, didn't it? I think so. You know, I lost track of it. I think so. Mike Young, I think getting a 30-day visa in Vietnam is easy, but I think you can still do border runs. Yeah, Gio was talking about that. You could get a 30-day something about online deal. I know I had to get a letter of invitation before I went to Vietnam. I had that all filled out, and it was still a hassle at the immigration deal at Vietnam, but it was a hassle because other people weren't prepared. Yours truly was. But I don't know, man. They just keep changing the rules right now. So stay tuned, you know. I think supposedly they're supposed to lighten things up here in the Philippines, or at least where I'm at on the 15th of next month. So we'll see. I hope so. All I want to do is sit down and have a cup of coffee with a friend. That's all I want to do. That's how complicated I am. Let's see. Well, thank you. Keep up the great work, Paul. You, May. Yeah, May does a good job. Me, I just flounder about. Mike Young, Paul, is your friend Gary still planning on living in Vietnam? And is there a way to contact him? Um, I feel weird about giving out friends' contact information. So maybe you can send me a message. I'll send him a message, and if he wants to get back to you, that's his decision. He left Vietnam. He went back home to Ohio. He sold his home, and he buttoned that whole deal up, and now he's living in a extended stay kind of place. He bought a ticket for July 1st to go to Vietnam. He wants to go back to Nha Trang, but he's smart. He bought a ticket that's good for a year. It's cancelable, fully refundable. He paid the extra money for that, which is smart. And so July 1 is his date on going there. But as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know what's going on with Gary and when things open up. Where is May today? May, where are you today? May's in the bedroom. Close the door. Hi, Paul. I'm moving to the Philippines later this year. I have 3 million pesos here in the States. Do you know the best way to get my money to the Philippines to build a house with my Filipino fiance? No. I know you can bring 10,000 cash in, or just under. 3 million pesos. What's a million pesos? 20 grand? What do you got? 60,000 USD? So I know you can bring 10 of that. I would imagine you could convert it over and put it in the bank and then transfer it once you're here. Thank you, Manuel. I appreciate you. Edith making me coffee every day. It never changes. You want coffee? Me and they are terrific together. I should video sometime when we have a fight. Yeah, try TransferWise. I mean, there's got to be a way that you can move money over here, but if you're there and you're not here and you're moving the money over prior to coming here, unless you got somebody here that can pick it up for you. I don't know. Do you think your humor has increased in the field? I think my humor has always been my humor. No, I've always been this stupid. But I don't have the aggravation that would dampen it, if you know what I mean. You know, like you'd be in a good mood and then you walk into the house and all of a sudden you're put into a bad mood. Or you walk into work and you're in a great mood, you're feeling funny and whatever, and then something happens and explodes in your face. Yesterday, I was in a really bad mood. I dealt with, I don't want to get into it, but it was just like shopkeepers and stuff like that. It was hot, things were slow. You had to wear a mask and you had to wear this and you had to do that. You only go here and yada yada. I hate rules. So, anyway. Best way to MoneyGram. See? Smarter intellects prevail. Always good to get more than one person. Hey, you want to come in the show? Gio left. Gio had a brownout. You want to come say hello?
Okay.
Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Wait. Don't anybody move. We got a special guest. Come here. Ta-da!
Hi guys, good morning. You want coffee? I asked if you.
Yeah, I'll take some coffee. I tell you, that's funny. Oh man. Leisure and more chill in the Philippines. Oh, by far. By far. You know, you remove all the drama, the family stress, work stress, and all that kind of stuff. Some guys are large and in charge their entire life. They own their own businesses, they run their own show, they do all this, they do all that. And 6 months after they retire, they die. because they're no longer large and in charge. And that was them. That was their identity. So where I feel blessed is that my work was never my identity. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, hey, I'm Mr. Finance Manager. Pay attention to me. Never. I always wanted to be a musician. I'm also thinking about writing a book, but that's another story. So let's see. So if May is Edith, is Geo Meathead? Absolutely, Tom. That was it. Yeah, and that was not staged. She just came out of the bedroom, and it's always the first question out of her mouth. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I don't know if I missed a bunch of stuff. Maybe I should scroll up, scroll down. I don't know what I'm doing. I know I've probably missed a zillion comments here, kids, but you know, the way I roll. You should stream at least once a week, Paul. I don't know. You know what? I don't make a video unless I've got something to talk about. I don't make a video for the sake of making a video, ever, never, ever. Oh, one time I did. I did a video about God, like my journey, questions about God, and I told this big long story about a conversation with a guy named Pastor Stan and how he answered all these questions for me, and then I just continued on talking, and all these people wrote me and said, "So what did Stan say?" And I looked back at the video and I said, "Yeah, that wasn't very fair." And so I actually did make a video for the sake of making the video. The only reason I made the video that's titled Pastor Stan was to give a group answer to what he told me. Because I must have had 150 people say, "What did he say?" I didn't want to tell everybody individually. Let's see, what's going on here? Mike Hamilton, you are the real deal. Well, thanks, man. I try to be. Why not? You know what? Why would anybody fake it? I mean, if you're a dick, you're a dick. Just be on and be a dick. Have a TV show or a whatever you call it, a YouTube deal, and be a dick. Just be good at it. If you're a nice guy, be a nice guy. You know, if you're I don't know, just be yourself. It's so much simpler. That's why lies are so tough, because now you've got to, you know, whenever you lie or whenever I lie, now I've got to remember the lie, and then I got to make up another lie to back up that lie. So I said, you know what? This is BS. It's just, I just don't lie. Come here, baby. Scoot in here. Hey, you talk to me for a while. We got questions. Who's got a question for Baby May? Let's see. Where do we go? Oh, wait. I worked at a Ford dealership in Highland Park, Illinois, and they promised me they would send me to the Ford school so I could work on the new cars. They took the nephew from Forder to my school. I quit. Nepotism runs wild in the car business. I could tell you stories, buddy. I'm sorry that happened to you, but you know what's interesting? The Toyota store that Anna Chan worked at was in Highland Park. I want to say Glendale, California. I think it's out there, Highland Park, California, near Glendale, something like that. Let's see, what else is going on? Huh?
Jason.
Jason. Oh, here we go. Okay, Jason wants to know what's for dinner tonight. What's for dinner?
Tonight, I think fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Yeah. Thank you for question, sir. Hi to your wife.
Here we go. May, if I come to Duma, can I do Zumba?
Yeah. Simple with Daddy Paul. You know, guys, Daddy Paul is
Daddy
very
Paul's not
good.
doing any freaking Zumba. All right, get that out of your head right now. Please. Hello, May. Does Paul snore loud? Do I snore loud? Be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Very funny.
Let's see here. Here's a good question for you. Hi, May. Has Paul ever cooked for you?
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, very much.
What did I make you?
Bacon. Steak.
And what?
Steak.
And a steak. And what did you try to cut the steak with? You tried to cut it with a spoon. True story. I grilled for a steak, and she tried to cut it with a spoon.
Yeah.
They don't allow knives in restaurants out here. I don't know. Oh my God.
Filipino Daddy Paul. Sure.
Freebird. Hey, hey there, baby May and Paul. How are y'all? We're doing fine, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm fine. How about you? Thank you.
Paul made me a grilled cheese sandwich. Not yet. Grilled cheese sandwich really sounds good though. Problem is the cheese out here. It's not the same. It's a weird, it's like filled with plastic or something. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. One of these days. Good idea to list the ingredients. I don't know what that means. Maybe when you make a show cooking,
Yeah.
they want a list of the ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this channel is a process, and so I think it gets a little better every time. It's like you got your buddy Ann to start filming, right?
Yeah.
And holding the camera.
Yeah.
And the tripod kept falling over.
5 times na Daddy Paul.
Yeah, it was ingredients. I miss the mangoes in Phil. Well, it's mango season right now. There's mangoes everywhere. And last year they were like free almost, remember?
Yeah.
Because there was this huge rain or something, and there was more mangoes at the end of the day than you can count. So there's a massive stock last year. Okay, Johnson, gotta go. Take care. We're probably gonna end this up. How long have I been on? Almost. I'll go to 10 o'clock. That'll be 2 hours. Hello, Paul. Just came on. Has Gio been with you today? Hi there. Welcome to the channel. Welcome for coming on. Gio was with me for about the first 15, 20 minutes, and then he had a brownout. Paul, before you and Baby May move to the mountains, let's see a cooking show with you, with Baby May and gang. Yeah, we might be able to do something like that. Get those two together.
Yeah, someday. If I have the oven.
If you have,
Yeah.
yeah, well, she's got an oven over there.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll just burst in one day without an announcement. We'll just go over and wake them up.
I'm so excited.
Jill would love that.
I'm so excited.
So let's see. How many people are watching? 365 people. I figured out what that is. Miss Baby May. Say hi to James.
Hi, James. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. With Daddy Paul.
Is Baby May channeling Edith Bucker? Every day. Every day. She doesn't have to channel her. She is her. Incarnate.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Durian. Tastes like heaven. Smells like hell. I've never smelled or seen them. They're big old things. Haven't been to the Philippines since the 80s. Has it changed since then? I would imagine it has. I wasn't here in the 80s. Oh, here's a question. Hi, baby maid. You believe in a walk, and white lady?
Yeah, before, because before I see the white lady.
You did?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
You saw her?
half body.
Half body.
Yeah.
Wow. It's much easier. Okay, so here's an answer. Since 80, much easier to travel. New York City harder these days. I love your channel, Paul. Well, thank you, Mark. That's very nice of you. Has May watched All in the Family yet? No, but I'm going to YouTube it. We're going to make that a project.
Yeah, with the default family.
Hello, how is your pool? Never see you guys in it. Well, the pool's being like not acid wash, but something happened to it. So yeah, we get in the pool every now and then. Let's see. There is a golf course in Manila called Walk Walk. Wonder why? I don't know. Hey, does your new place have a pool too? It does. It's not right outside the back door though, which is nice because if people are swimming or enjoying the pool here, which they're trying to do, we hear it. And so if they have a party, which is fine, and it goes on all night, we hear it. So I guess one of the side benefits was that we have a pool, but we're removed from it. So we can see it and we can go down to it, but we're not right on it. You know? So people, and also people want privacy while they're in the pool. They don't have me, going out the back door.
The first house.
Okay, so let's see. What do you think of our recent riots in the States? Love your channel. What happened was so wrong. When I first saw the video, I said, that guy got murdered. In the story. That guy was murdered right there in plain sight. And I'm glad they pressed charges and put him in jail because, as far as I'm concerned, he killed the guy and didn't have to. That wouldn't do anything. I heard horror stories of guys being handcuffed, running away, and getting shot in the back in Vegas. In fact, the Review Journal in Las Vegas did a big ass article about police shootings. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, I support our law enforcement, but like any profession, it's always got the bad apples. And law enforcement has been very, very good to me over the years, but I've had the bad times with them too. I was falsely imprisoned one time on a traffic thing, and that's a whole other story. But I had to spend like 12 hours in jail just because they were training a rookie on how to arrest somebody, and they picked me. I was like 20 years old, and I had a hoopty, so they figured, oh, this guy can't fight back. But I did. Another story. But what do I think? I think that it's a crying shame that the neighborhoods are being burned down to the ground. And on top of it, the business owners have been going through the COVID thing, so they haven't been able to work. And now, if they had a shop, they can forget about it because it's gone. From what I heard, 70% of the people that are creating all the havoc are kind of like professionals. They come in from out of other states and out of other areas, and they loot and they pillage and they steal and they create havoc because that's just what they do, And there's just sick people in the world. Yeah, it's a travesty. I hate to see that happen. America's had some tough shots lately. Yeah, the cop is being charged with third-degree murder, which is manslaughter. Well, that makes sense because I don't think he had premeditation. Of course, I'm no lawyer, but that's what I understand. Let's see. What else is going on? What's this day? Paul, I enjoy your videos. Baby May, your cooking videos are awesome. Keep up the good work. That's from Bridget.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
I think that's a woman, Bridget.
Bridget, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I am lucky to be here. You know what? I'm not, like I said earlier, I don't have income issue. The worst thing is I've been locked down with Baby May. And we've actually been able to get out and scoot around Valencia because there's no checkpoints there. And we just miss our little routine. It's been a real hassle. Right? How many times we go to Hypermark? 4 or 5 times before we could get in? Three times?
Yeah.
The 4th time you got in, and I had to wait across the street.
Yeah.
So, hey, little things like that. No big deal. I'm done with work. I feel you. Cop has a very poor record. Go after the chief or captain of the police force, too. Yeah, well, ultimately, the buck's got to stop somewhere, right? I always knew that when, the short period of time that I was actually in charge of something, somebody other than myself, I had to deal with the heat that came with the job. Would you recommend your current complex to stay when I come to Puma in March, or is it too far from town to get a good idea of the area? Well, if you're looking for a short-term stay, this is a month-to-month rental. They don't do Airbnb anymore. They tried that and it didn't work. With the small place across from us, we have a little, what do you call it, bungalow. And so if I was just coming here on vacation, no, I would stay at a hotel, or I think they're starting to do Airbnb here, but down on the boulevard. And there's some nice hotels, decent places. Ed gave you a donation, and he wants to know if you do Tampa.
What's the meaning of
It means you get in a bad mood.
No, I'm not always bad mood. I'm always been to Daddy Paul, guys. I always offer the coffee. If Daddy Paul get the money, I give the coffee. I give the cigar.
Yeah, she doesn't last long. She gets pissed off at me once in a while, but it lasts like 5 minutes. Barry Mark, is it fair your 95-year-old father works and you don't? Absolutely, because we're both doing exactly what we want to do. He loves his work, and I love being retired. So we're both following our dreams, brother. Do pharmacies carry most medicines available in the U.S.? Statin drugs you can get, if you got cholesterol or blood pressure or any of that, narcotics, no. And if I was you, of course, this is just me talking, not giving advice, but if I was coming over here and I was on a bunch of medications, I'd do my damnedest to get like a 90-day supply, because they're not cheap here. Medicine is not cheap.
Yeah.
I thought it would be, but it is. I mean, you can get much better deals. One of the things, if I went back to the States, I said I would buy a bunch of stuff. I would buy a big jar of multivitamins. I would buy a big jar, one of those Costco deals of ibuprofen, anything like that. It's just sky high here. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here in a minute, kids. Here's Barry. Barry's got the question of the night. Barry Thornton, morning, May. Interview your single friends who want a foreign man.
Yeah, I have more friends. She looking the foreigner. I think three friends. She looking the foreigner.
You got 3 friends?
Yeah, she looking the foreigner.
So we can have our version of the dating game. She doesn't know what that is, but I'll tell her later. Oh, God. Baby May, what keeps that smile on your face 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Why are you always smiling?
Because I in love with you.
Oh, see?
Yeah, I promise.
Okay, we'll take a few more questions. We've got about 5 minutes, so I'm going to bail out. Zane wants to know, hey, Paul, can you talk about how it was and what it was like for you getting rid of all your stuff before moving? I find this being one of the most difficult things I've ever done. I lost my affection for my stuff because I found that my stuff didn't talk back to me. All my stuff did was drain my pocket. If it didn't wear out, it needed to be insured, or it needed to be registered, or it needed to be maintained. So I didn't have a great affection for my stuff. I'm not a big stuff guy. And so for me to part with it was really easy. I just gave it away or sold it for next to nothing. Now there's memorabilia and pictures and little trophies you got when you were a little kid, or I got when I was a little kid that I kept, and someone's got it in their garage for me in Vegas, some box somewhere in someone's attic or garage. So that's stuff I kept, but as far as the car and the condo and the couch and the coffee maker, clothes. I gave away probably $3,000 worth of clothes. No kidding. I had a lot of suits, ties, stuff like that, and so I just donated. So it was easy. Stuff won't ever give you a hug, buddy. Okay. So this person asked, I want to live in Sikihor. What do you think? Well, we went to Sikihor. What do you think about living there?
I don't know because I like in the Dumagi.
Yeah,
I
do
love
too.
Dumagi.
Yeah, I do too. Sikihor, to me, is one of those places that's nice to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there just because it's so quiet, and that's basically it, I guess. I don't know. I guess I could get my groove on over there. I had We had a good time. We went with Ian and we went with Jenny and we went with all those people. So we went with a group. We went with Miss V and we went with my friend Ian and his girlfriend and Bang and all that. So we had a group over there. We had fun. Okay, a Filipino's perspective. Paul, is Baby May teaching you how to cook Filipino dishes? You should go on her show and both cook together. Well, you know what? I hate to break it to you, but I'm not a big fan of Filipino cuisine. Now, she makes it really good. We ate it, but I still got that palate that I like Americanized type of food. And if she ever had me on her show cooking, we'd probably set something on fire. I can only imagine. But thanks for the suggestion. Let's see. Will you be upgrading your gay little red scooter anytime? That's a very good question. I've currently got the Liberace edition. I've heard they've got a Richard Simmons package that's to die for, but I don't know. The jury's still out. Let's see, what other
I
questions?
think in the app have the people for us about how much the pineapple. I think.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking at it. That would be a dating game show. That actually crossed my mind more than once before she said she had 3 friends. I've often thought about being Jim Eubanks and coming out with a light blue tuxedo and introducing a bachelor and having 3 bachelorettes sitting behind a curtain. And the whole problem with that is trying to film it, find a place that you could do and videotape it. but I think it would be a riot. It's one of my ideas that I would do on my other channel because I would put a little different spin to it. But you know, I can't give away all my secrets. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to keep up. We're gonna go about 3 more minutes here. Oh, Nickel Rico's giving you some money. Thank Cooking Channel. When you cook my steak, tell your sister Greek will visit Getty and Cebu. Nickel Rico always calls me my boy. I love that. You're always a cool guy, Nicole, man. You always have a nice thing to say. You're always upbeat. You're always positive. And I know you're a young guy. So, you know what? You got the right attitude, brother. You and me got to meet sometime.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving her the money I'm
She from Cebu, Daddy Paul. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll end with this one, okay? This is Zane. Great job on your first live stream, Paul. Congratulations, my brother. Thank you all very much for watching. It's 10:01. I've been at this 2 hours. I've got pee. All right, so anyway, you know, thanks. I don't know when we'll do this again, but I will schedule one for me and baby.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of hang out, and she can wear her bunny ears, and I don't know what we'll do. Stay tuned. Thanks again for everybody that watched, and we appreciate you more than you know.
Yeah.
Sorry about Gio. He had to go enjoy his lack of electricity. He's sweating his balls off right now. And
Yeah,
I'm enjoying the fan. This is great.
Next time, enjoy run out.
All right, kids. Thanks again for watching.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. And